Good evening, students. Now, in this session, we are going to discuss about the concept of launch and connect Linux server or Windows server and make as web servers. Web servers. That is, in this session, we are launch and connect Linux server. We are launch and connect Linux server and make as that in web server as the web server. And also, we are going to discuss about the concept of launch and connect Windows server and make as web servers. Make as web server. These two concepts we are going to discuss now. We are going to discuss now. That is the two concepts we are discussing. One is launch and connect Linux server, launch and connect the Linux server and make that as the web server. Second one is launch and connect Windows server and make as web server. These two things we are going to discuss now. Now, anyone wants to talk with me? Raise your hands. That is first we are launching Linux server and then wait. And then we are going to launch the Windows server also. Raise your hand. Anyone wants to talk with me? Raise your hands. Okay. Okay. Now, first I am going to launch the Linux server. First I am going to launch the Linux server. For that, what are the steps we have to follow to make as web server? First, you need to launch the Linux server. You need to launch the Linux server. The first step is you need to launch the Linux server. And then we have to enable the HTTP port. We have to enable the HTTP port. We have to enable the HTTP port. First, I am launching the Linux server. First, I am launching the Linux server. For that, I have to open my AWS account. Open my AWS account. Sign in management console. Sign into the console. Give your credentials, email and the password. Email and the password. Now my AWS account is open. And default it is chosen the Mumbai region. Whatever recently visited services, recently used services, they are appeared here. Now I am using EC2 service. Click on that. You check the EC2 dashboard. There is no instances are running. There is no instances are there. Keep it at 0. One default security group is there. Now I am launching the Linux server. Click on instances. Click on launch instances. We have to give the instance name. We have to give the instance name Linux server CSC A I am given. CSC A I am given. Now we have to choose the next step. Amazon machine image, that is Amazon Linux I am chosen, and then 64-bit instance type. In Mumbai region 370 instance types are there. As per your business requirement, you have to choose the instance type. Now for practicing purpose, You have to choose the instant type is t2.micro. That is, it is providing 1 CPU, 1 GB RAM, right? Now, I had to create the new key pair. If already you are created the new key pair, we can select them. Now I am creating the new key pair. Click on that. You have to give the key pair name. You have to give the key pair name Linux server CSCA key I am given. CSCA key I am given. Key pair type is RSA. Private key file format, term format, we have to choose it. Click on create key pair. Key pair is downloaded. Then the next step is network settings. Here we can choose the edit option. Whatever the default VPC is there, that default VPC as it is we have to taken. Subnet I am not given any preferences. Auto assign public IP is enabled. Automatically that is assign the public IP. Next, the security group name I am chosen Linux server CSCA security group I am given. Same, I copy and paste it in the description. Copy and paste it in the description. They are launching the Linux server. So the type is SSH. Port range is 22. Source type is anywhere. Source type is anywhere. Now, the default storage is 8 GB is providing. You are launching the Linux server. And then click on launch instances. Click on launch instances. Now, you have to click on the instances option. That is Linux server CSCA is instance status is pending. Instance status is pending. So to make as Linux server, web server, first you need to launch the Linux server. You need to launch the Linux server. Before that, we have to see the steps. What are the steps we have to follow? What are the steps we have to follow? See here. See here. We will install HTTPD by Apache and it will be two-step process. First one is after launching your server, Linux server, we have to update yum repository. Second step, you need to install web package. On that launched server, you need to install the web packages. These two steps we have to follow to make as Linux server as a web server. To make as a, you are launched a Linux server, make as a web server. For that, you have to follow the two steps. First one is you have to update the yum repository. Second one is on that server, we have to install the web package. For this, what we have to do? We have to create the Linux server using EC2 service. Using EC2 service, we can connect the Linux EC2 mission. EC2 mission. And then we have to use those commands. We have to use those commands. I'll tell you. I'll tell you first before that it is running or not. Yes, it is in running status. It is in running status. Meanwhile, I am downloading the key pair, the PEM format. Now I need to convert the PPK format. How we have to convert? How we have to convert? By using Putty Zen software. Now I have to use the Putty Zen software. Putty Zen software. I have to click on load option. You have to select all files. All files. You need to choose the Linux server CSCA key. Click on open. Click on OK. And we have to save this as the private key. Click on yes. You have to save the name Linux server CSCA key. The format is .ppk format. Click on save option. Click on save private key. Okay, already that is done. Now we have to see that in the downloads option. In the downloads option, Linux server CSCA key. I am converting Putty private key file format. Now I have to connect this server by using Putty software. By using Putty software. Now You have to copy and paste the public IPv4. This is the public IPv4 of my Linux server. Public IPv4, public IPv4, right? This is the public IPv4. I have copied and pasted it in the notepad. The same thing, I paste it in the Putty software. Paste it in Putty software. For authentication purpose, in the left side, that is, we have to choose SSH option. Under that, you have to click on Authenticate, browse your key pair, click on Linux Server CSCA key, click on Open, accept it. Now, you have to give login as EC2-user. EC2-user. See that my Linux server is connecting. My Linux server is connecting. I have to change the appearance. I have to change the size. Right. It's taking time. Okay, that is disconnected. Again, I have to connect it by using Putty software. Putty. I have to paste the public IPv4 of my instance. And we have to check the authentication. SSH, authenticate, browse your key pair, Linux server CSCA, click on open, open, I have to give the name EC2-user, enter it. Now I have to change the settings, appearance, change, I want to increase the font size. Okay. Okay. Again, it is terminating. Authenticate, browse the key, open it, open EC2 hyphen user. Click on enter. Okay. To change the size, it is taking time also. Okay, leave it. Now we have to practice the command ls. There is no list of files and directories are there in this one. Now this server make as a web server. This server make as a web server. For that, what are the steps we have to follow? What are the steps we have to follow? The two step is, one is we have to update the yum repository. We have to update the yum repository. That is the step one. Next step is we have to install the web package. We have to install the web package. For that, I am creating Linux server. I am connecting it by using Putty software. By using Putty software. Now, the next step is we have to switch to the root user. We have to switch to the root user. How we have to switch to the root user? By writing this command. That is sudo su. To switch to the root user in Linux server, which command we have to use it? Sudo su. Have to copy it and paste it. Click on enter. Now, in the previous step, we see that it is not in root user. Now we observe that it is in root user. It is in root user. It is in the root user. That is, to switch to the root user, we have to use the command is sudo su. Sudo su. Then, what is the first step to make as a web server? We have to update the yum repository. We have to update the yum repository. For that, what is the command we have to use? To update the yum repository, we have to write the command is yum update minus y. Yum update minus y. We have to update it for the second step. Second step. Now it is updating. Now it is updating. Now, what is the next step? What is the next step? We had to install the web package. Till now, in this server, in this Linux server, there is no web packages server. There is no web packages server. Now we had to install the web packages. How we had to install the web package? That is by using yum install httpd httpd hyphen y. This is a command to install the web package, to web package your launched server. Click on enter. Click on enter. It is install the web package on your launched server. Now the status is complete. Now the status is complete. Now the next step is we move to the HTML directory. How we move to the HTML directory? By writing this command. By writing this command cd slash var slash www slash html. Can write it. We can enter it. Now we see that it is changing to the HTML directory. It is changing to the HTML directory. In earlier, it is in EC2 hyphen user. That is in the root directory. That is in the root directory. Then what is the next step? What is the next step? We can create the web package. We can create the web package. You know that in any web server, the what is the main file name? What is the main file name? Send me in the chat window. What is the main file name? Send me in the chat window. Chat option is available. Send me in the chat window. What is the main file name? What is the main file name? Send me in the chat window. Send me in the chat window. That is, the file name is index.html. Index.html. I am writing the command echo Amazon Web Services index.html. The file name I have given. I have to copy and paste it here. I have to copy and paste it here. Copy and paste it here. Then the next step is we have to start the web package. We have to start the web package. How we will start the web package? By writing this command service hyphen space httpd start. We have to start the web package by writing this command. By writing this command, we can enter it. Now the service will be started. Service will be started. And then we have to configure this one by writing this command. By writing this command, I can write the this one. We can click on enter. We can click on enter. Now our Linux machine is web server. Our Linux machine is web server. Now I have to copy the public IPv4 of my instance. Public IPv4 of my instance. This is my public IPv4 of my instance. Public IPv4 of my instance. Now I'll shade it in the chat box. I'll send it in the chat box. This is my instance public IPv4. All are visible. Now this public IPv4, you have to open your browser. You have to open your browser, copy and paste it this IP address. What the result we have to obtain? Send me in the chat window. Yes, some student is respond. HTML index.html. That's correct. We can copy and paste it on the browser. On the browser, what result we have to observe? What result we have to observe? Send me in the chat window. Meanwhile, I also try. Meanwhile, I also try. This is my public IPv4. This is my public IPv4. Entered. Entered. Send me in the chat window. Students, are you there? Are you there? Send me in the chat window what the result you are obtained. I am sending my instance public IP address. Send me in the chat window what the result you are obtained. What the result you are obtained. I am waiting for your result. Yes, 527. Site cannot be reached. Site cannot be reached. I also got the same thing. Cannot reach this page. Cannot this reach page. Cannot this reach page. Right? Why you got it? Why you got this message? Why you got this message? Here, to launch your Linux server, I am not enabling HTTP port. I'm not enabling HTTP port. That's why you are getting the messages like that. Cannot reach this page. You are copy and paste the public IPv4 of my instance. You are getting the result is I am not reach this page. Why? Because I'm not enabling the HTTP port. I'm not enabling the HTTP port. Then the next question is how we have to enable the HTTP port? How we have to enable the HTTP port? What are the steps we have to follow? That is in the EC2, on the left side, we'll see that network and security. Under that, we can click on security group. We can click on security group. What is the security group name we are using? Linux server CSC SG I am using. Linux server CSG SG I am using. We can select this. We can select this here. Under, we can click on inbound rule. Click on inbound rule. Here, we have to choose. We have to choose edit inbound rule. Edit inbound rule. Here, we have to add the HTTP. HTTP. For that, you can click on add rule. Here, we can choose the HTTP. We have to choose the HTTP. Source is anywhere, anywhere, and then save rules. Save rules. Right, refresh it, refresh it, go to the instances, go to the instances, copy and paste the public IPv4, copy and paste the public IPv4. I am sending, this is the public IPv4. Now check it. Meanwhile, we can refresh your browser. refresh your browser. What is the result you are getting? But there, yes, you are getting Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services. Now, now your mission as a web server, your Linux server make as a web server. Those are the steps we have to follow. Your launched Linux server make as a web server. For that, which one you are enabled? HTTP we have to enable. Without enabling the HTTP, you can't get the result. You can't get the result. You can't get the result. Those are the steps we have to follow. Those are the steps we have to follow. Now, that is, that is, and then those are the steps, relevant steps also I am providing in the PPTs. The PPTs, that is examples of web server. You may use the Apache HTTP server, Internet Information Services, and NGINX HTTP DX by Apache, right? Out of that, I am using HTTP only. I'm using HTTP only. We will install HTTPD by Apache, and it will be the two-way step process. One is we have to update the YUM repository. Second one is we have to install the web package. For that, first you need to launch the Linux server, and we can connect it by using Putty software. And then we have to write this one. We have to switch to the root user. How we have to switch to the root user? By writing the command sudo su. And then we have to update the yum repository. How we can update it? Yum update -y. We have to install the web package. How we have to install? Yum install httpd -y. We have to move to the HTML directory by writing this one. Next, we can create the web page. The simple web page I am creating by using echo within double quotation. I am writing Amazon Web Services. The name I am given file name index.html I am given. And then we have to start the web page by writing this command service httpd start. And then I can write the command chk configure httpd on. Now our Linux machine make as a web server, and then we can enable the HTTP port. You have to copy and public IPv4, paste it in the new browser. Then you are getting the result is the Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services. You are not getting the result. Why? Because you are not enable the HTTP protocol. We can enable the HTTP protocol by selecting network security, networking and security. Under that, we can select the security group. We can select our security group name. I am given the security group name Linux Server CSC SG. I am given. Edit inbound rule. Click on add rule. We can change the type is HTTP. Source is anywhere IPv4. We can click on save rules. Now we refresh your browser. You are getting the result is Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services. Here I am given what is repository, what is YUM repository. We can study those one. Now, the second way to make as your Linux server as web server, what are the steps we have to follow? By writing the bootstrap script also, by writing the bootstrap script, your launched Linux server make as a web server, make as a web server. Bootstrapping allows us to write and put the strap up script while launching an EC2 so that execute automatically as soon as the instance will be launched. As soon as the instance will be launched. This is the EC2. We are writing the script. We are writing the script. After launching your Linux server, automatically those steps will also be executed. That's the advantage by writing the bootstrap script. I'm showing practically also. For that also, we have to create Linux EC2 mission. We have to give the name. We have to choose the Amazon. All those things we have to choose it as is. As is. Now, I'm launching the another Linux server. Choose the instances. Click on launch instance. I'm given the instance name. I'm given the instance name Linux IT server. Linux IT server. I'm choosing the operating system images. Amazon mission image I am choosing. Amazon Linux server. Amazon Linux server. This one. And instance type T2.micro. It is providing 1 CPU, 1 GB RAM. And the key pair I am creating Linux server IT key, Linux server, IT key, temp format. I am downloading. Click on create key pair. Next, in network settings, default VPC, there is no subnet preference. Auto assign public IP enabled. I am given the security group name. I am given the security group name Linux server, IT security group I am given. Same, I copy and paste it in the description. Now, you know that we have to enable the HTTP port. Here also we can add it. Here also we can add the security group. Here also we can add the security group. Click on add security group rule. We can choose the type is HTTP. We can choose the type is HTTP. Source type is anywhere. Source type is anywhere. Next, storage is 8 GB. Storage is 8 GB. Now, here I am adding the bootstrap script. Bootstrap script. For that, I am adding the script is this one. I am adding the script is this one. Click on here. Click on here. This is the script. This is the script. I have to copy it and paste it here in this one. Here I am chosen advanced details. Right now I am not using any advanced details to launch the Linux server. Now I am using advanced details. Click on this one. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. At the bottom, the user data is there. This bootstrap script we have to add it without spaces. You are providing the spaces, you are getting the error. I have not written any new things. Whatever the commands I am written in the just now, those one I can written. Sudo su yum update -y yum install http d -y. And then I am writing this one echo Amazon services. The given the file name is index.html service httpd start, and this command I am written. Right. I can click on launch instances. Launch instances. Right. Wait for few minutes. Wait for few minutes. This service I have to stop it. The earlier one. The earlier one. I am stopping this one. Now, meanwhile, I have to convert the .pem format to the PPK format. How we can convert? How we can convert? By using Putty software. We can choose the load option. Click on select the all files. Linux server IT key. Click on open. Click on OK. Save private key. Click on yes. I am given the name is Linux server IT key. IT key. Click on save. You close this one. Now the instance state is running. Now the instance state is running. Copy the public IPv4. Copy the public IPv4. Paste it here. Paste it here. Now we have to open the Putty software. Have to open the Putty software. Paste the IPv4. SSH. Authenticate. Browse the key. Linux server IT key. Click on open. Open. Accept. Now we have to give the username is ec2 hyphen user. See that it is connecting. It is connecting. Now we have to copy the public IPv4, public IPv4. Right now I am sending in the chat window this my instance public IPv4. Now paste it in your browsers. Paste it in your browsers. What the result you are getting? You are getting the result is Amazon Web Services. You are getting the result is Amazon Web Services. That is the advantage. That is the advantage by writing the bootstrap script. By writing the bootstrap script. Everything I am writing in the bootstrap script. That's the major advantage by writing the bootstrap script. That's the point I have mentioned that in the beginning of the slide. In the beginning of the slide. Bootstrapping allows us to write and put a strap up script while launching an EC2 instance so that it executes automatically as soon as the instance is launched. As soon as the instance will be launched. Those are the steps we have to follow. All the steps I have mentioned on the PPTs. All the steps I have mentioned on the PPTs. Then, what is your next one? Next task is launch and connect Windows Server and make as the web server. Make as the web server. For that, what are the steps we have to follow? What are the steps we have to follow? That is the first step is we have to launch the Windows Server. We have to launch the Windows Server. We have to generate the password. We can connect the EC2 machine using RDP. Click on the start menu. Those steps I have to follow. Those steps I have to follow. I'll stop this instance. I'll stop this instance. Now I am launching the Windows Server. I am launching the Windows Server. We have to choose the instances. Now click on launch instances. I am given the instance name is Windows CSC A. Windows CSC A I am given. The next step we have to choose the Amazon machine image. I am chosen the Windows. I am chosen Windows 64-bit instance type T2.micro. 1 CPU, 1 GB memory is providing. Key pair, I am click on create new key pair. That is, I am given Windows CSC A key I am given. I can private key file format, PEM format. You can click on create. Now in the network settings, click on edit option. VPC, default VPC, we have to choose it right now. In upcoming session, we are creating your own VPC. There is no subnet preference I am given. Auto assign public IPv4 enabled. And security group I am given. Security group I am given. Windows Server CSC A. Security group I am given. Same, I copy and paste it in the description. Copy and paste it in the description. Now you are launching the Windows Server. Type is RDP. Port range is 3389. 3389. Storage it is providing 30 GB storage is providing. And click on launch instances. Click on launch instances. Now go to the instances. Go to the instances. The instance state is pending. It's to connect in the Mumbai region on the data center. It is taking the time 2 minutes time. 2 minutes time it is taking. Wait for few minutes. Wait for few minutes. I'm providing the steps also for your launched Windows server, how you are make as web server. How you are make as web server. Those are the steps we have to follow. I'll tell you. I'll tell you, no problem. Yes, it is in running status. Now to connect this Windows server, in your laptop, we have to use the remote desktop connection. Remote desktop connection. Click on this. Click on this. Remote desktop connection. This is previous one. Yes, here we have to give the computer name. That is, in this Windows Server instance, the public IP is public IPv4 is this one. This you have to paste it here. Click on connect. Click on connect. I have to give the username. I have to give the username. I have to give the username and the password. I'm not generating the password. First, you need to generate the password. You need to generate the password for the Windows server. How we have to generate? Click on the instance, connect option, RDP, RDP, get password, upload private key. We can choose all files on downloads option. Here, this one, Windows CSEA key, click on open. Scroll down, decrypt the password. Decrypt the password. Now we have to copy the public DNS of this Windows server. Public DNS of this Windows server, and the username administrator. Username is administrator, and then this is the password. This is the password for my Windows server. Now we have to use the computer name is public IPv4 or the DNS name Anyone we have to give it, no problem. Now I am given the public IPv4 or the DNS. Connect it. Connect. I have to give the username administrator. 2 times it is administrator, and the password is this one. Click on OK. Yes. Now I am connecting my Windows server. I'm connecting my Windows server. I'm connecting my Windows server. I'm connecting my Windows server. Right? It is taking time. No problem. Right? It is taking time. It is taking the time. Okay. See that? It's not there on the right side. It is not representing public IPv4, private IPv4, and the memory, Amazon ID, all those things. It is not showing on details. Wait. Now it is showing. I'm launching what? Windows server. Now this Windows server you make as web server. For that, what are the steps we have to follow? I'm not installed any packages right now, any softwares right now in this launched Windows server. Now I install the packages. For that, you can click on this one. You can click on the start button in your launched server, in your launched Windows server. Here we have to choose server manager. Right? This screen is up here. Right now, two are there. Now we have to select add roles and features. Click on this one. Add roles and features. Here we have to choose. Click on next option. Here we have to choose web server IIS. We have to put the tick mark. Click on add features. Click on next. Click on install. Click on installed. Wait for few minutes. Now it is installed the web servers in your launched Windows server. See that future installed, future installation. It's taking the time. Meanwhile, we have to see what are the steps we are followed on the PPTs. On the PPTs. See here, see here, see here. That is, you can click on Start menu on your launched Windows server. Open Server Manager, not the Service Manager, Server Manager. Server Manager. Install Internet Information Services, IIS. Click on Add Rules and Features. Click on OK. Click on Next. Click on Next. Click on Next. Check Web Server IIS. Right? Click on Add Features. All those steps I am providing. All those steps I am providing. Wait. Wait. Yes. Yes. See here. See here. In the earlier, it is not there. Now it is there. Now it is there. Now it is there. Now, now, click on this file menu. Click on this file menu. Click on this PC. Click on the C drive. Click on the C drive. In earlier, if you are launched the instance, inet pub, it is not available. I am installing the package. That's why this folder is enabled. Click on that. Under that, www root folder is created. We can delete this one. Can delete this one. In my laptop, just I am creating the index file. Just I am creating the index file in Notepad. In Notepad. In Notepad. That is, I am creating the index file. Index file. That is H1. I am writing this one. Welcome to AWS services. Services. H1 tag I am written. I have to save this. I have to save this. I have to save this as index.html. 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 I have to copy this one. I have to copy this one and paste it your launched Windows server in this folder. In this folder. In this folder is nothing but what? This PC on C drive. On C drive. inetpub. Under that www root folder. Now you have to paste it your notepad index.html. Index.html. Right. Right. Now. 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 I am sending my instance public IPv4. My instance public IPv4 to the chart window. To the chart window. I am sending my Windows server public IPv4. Now you check it, paste it in your browsers, check it, what the result you obtain, send me in the chart window. Send me in the chart window. Send me in the chart window. What the result you are getting? What the result you are getting? Students, are you there? Send me in the chart window. Send me in the chart window. What the result you are obtained? Just now I am sending my launched Windows server public IPv4. My launched Linux server public IPv4. What the result? Site cannot be reached. What the reason? What is the reason? I am not enabling in this. I am not enabling HTTP port. HTTP port. How we have to enable? How we have to enable the HTTP port? Here in EC2, scroll down. network and security group. Under that, we have to select security group. Security group. Here, here, we have to choose this one, Windows Server CSE. Click on that. Here, inbound rules. Click on edit inbound rules. Now, we have to add the rule. Type is, we have to choose HTTP, we can choose it. Source is anywhere IPv4. Source is anywhere IPv4. Click on save rules. Click on save rules. Now refresh your browser. Students, refresh your browser. Refresh your browser. Copy and paste the public IPv4 of your instance. Copy and public IPv4 of your instance. Refresh your browser. Access is denied. You do not have permission to view directory or page to this credential is supplied. What you are getting the result? What about your status? Why? Why it is given like that? I'm not closing this one. Still it is. The future is installing. Wait. Now it is done. Now it is done. Wait. It is there. It's there. initpub. Under that I am written. Now we have to refresh. Now we have to refresh. This is also the same. Okay, again I am doing. I have to delete this one. This PC. initpub www root. Can delete this one. And another index file I am using. I have to copy and paste this one, this index file. This index file. I have to copy this and paste it your launched server. Paste it your launched server. Paste it. Right. I have to close this one. And now I'm using this Windows Server instance, public IP, paste it here, paste it here. Yes, are you getting the result? Are you getting the result? Refresh it. Are you getting the result? Say yes or no. Say yes or no. Are you getting the result? Say yes or no. Yes, we are getting the Windows Server. Again, I am deleting this one. In this index file, this PC on your launched server, initpub under the www root. This I am deleting. Now I am pasting this index.html. This index.html. I paste it in your launched server. In this folder. In this folder. In this folder. Now refresh your browser. Refresh your browser. I think this is some problem is there, that is in writing this one, the same I am written, I think. Okay, but this is working. I'm given the same name. That's why it is given the ambiguity. Right? If I'm given this file, then it is accepting. Then it is accepting. Right? Oh yeah, what is the reason is? What is the reason is? For this one, it is not working. Why it is not working is, okay, I'll explain the reason also. Why it is not working. That is, I'm writing the same one. I'm writing the same one. That is index.html. Index.html. I can delete this one, previous one. Here. Using h1 command, header tag, that is welcome to AWS services or AWS online classes. Online classes. At the end this one. Right. I have to save this one. Now we can open this in by using the browser. By using the browser, we have to open this one. By using the browser, we have to open this one. Wait. Right click on it. Right. You have to choose the browser. You have to choose the browser. Click on OK. Click on OK. Right. I have to close this tag. Now I have to paste it. This one. I have to paste this index HTML. It's not converting. Why? Is there anyone? H1, welcome to AWS online sessions. I am given. Okay, this is the index.html I am given. I need to convert. Okay, this will be converted. This index.html is converted. Where is this index.html file? This one. This one. We copy this one and paste it here in this one. Now it is converted. Now it is converted. Now you have to browse your uh, copy and paste the public IPv4, whatever I am sending. You are getting the result. You are getting the result. Same thing I am written the code also. In the HTML. In the HTML code I am written. See here. See here. This is the code I am written. This is the code I am written. Right? Okay. That's we are make as a web servers. We are make as a web servers. Those are the steps we have to follow. You will try another files also. You will try other files also. Index.html. Those are the steps we have to follow to make as web servers. To make as a web servers. Right? So in this session, I am explained very clearly with hands-on that is launch and connect the Linux server. That Linux server make as a web server. For that, what are the steps I followed? And similarly, I am launching and connect the Windows server, and that Windows server make as a web server. Make as a web server. Any queries? Raise your hands. Any queries? Raise your hands. Any queries? Raise your hands. I'll unmute your mic. I'll unmute your mic. Right. Okay, thank you. Tomorrow we'll meet the same time. Thank you.